Fukuda told us Ashito was someone who would change the perspective of football in Japan. But I say no. Now why is that? It's because I will be making Esperion's best player possible, and this will be done by stealing attributes from everyone got to know throughout this journey. As we know, these characters have flaws, some worse than others, so I will be taking these abilities and these attributes based on the 5 categories, which are offense, defense, technique, playmaking, and mentality. And technically, I can't build the best player because I would not be using no duplicate characters. So we'll have an overload of one character and then one different person. I could have just said 4 Damians and 1 Kurabayashi. You know what I'm saying? So I'm keeping it different. So who will my players be for these stats that I will steal, that will wear the Esparion jersey and be the one to lead Japan to greatness in the football world? We'll find out right about now. So to start off with, we got offense. These are characters that when they have the ball, a threat of goal is at its highest. We all know what offense is. Let's stop kidding around. And for this, we have a lot of nominees. And by a lot, I mean 2. Trapone and Damien. Yes, that was a long list. Sure, we've got my honorable mentions like Yuma and Kanta, but I feel like narratively wise, there's a gap between those 2 characters and the other 2 characters. So moving back to the nominees, Trapone, one of the craziest goals I've ever seen in the series. The little wraparound thing around Ashito. This guy gave Ashito nightmares. This is the same arc where Ashito thought he was finally understanding it.
I understand it now.
Which was cool. And then we got our main antagonist, I think, Damien. And yet, he's yet to score a goal. But goddamn, this guy's an offensive machine. You can't tell me when he has the ball, you think this guy's going to score at any moment. He has 4 people around him, he gets out. He has 5 people around him, he gets out. He makes a pass, he dribbles past them, he pushes them physically. I'm surprised he hasn't scored yet. If this was Blue Lock, he would have a hat-trick by now. So I got to go Damien. I know we haven't seen him score, I know. But I'm confident in my pick as my offensive weapon being Damien. Now, moving on to defense, and whose defensive skill has been hyped over and over and over and over again throughout the show. It's none other than my GOAT, Akotsu. Now, this guy has no competition, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's just him. So I'm picking him. Akotsu is by himself. Yes, again, your favorite characters, Togashi, Asari, even Ashito. I hear him, but they're not Akotsu. Let's be honest. He is the GOAT. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Now let's move on. The next category is technique. This is another one where I don't think we need to have a big discussion about this. I don't care who your list of people is, the nominees, the honorable mentions. When we're talking about technique, there's only one person who could be. There's only one person's skills it could be. And this is Japan's national treasure. And I'm talking about the same man when asked in interviews, why don't you build muscle? You're a bit small for a player that plays in that position. He tells them, you don't know ball. I don't care what you're talking about. You don't know ball. If you want me to get big, I'll get worse. I'll do it. Of course, I'm talking about Kurabayashi, the guy that gets so much respect. It's unheard of. The glaze he gets is crazy. I see it though. I've been moved. So it's an easy Kurabayashi pick for technique. Did you even see this goal? That was all technique. It wasn't even shooting. Just technique. Finally, we're back to having multiple picks and more difficult ones. Playmaking. And these picks are Ren, Ashito, Garula, and Damien. Of course, we've already picked Damien, so he's out of the running. I just wanted to put him there because, he did have some good playmaking. That was part of his offensive bag. But I'll be taking a more experienced playmaker in Red, not Garula. I'm not gonna lie, all this guy has been doing is been worrying about the game this entire 18 minutes, or 19 minutes, sorry. And he gave Jacques the ball and they missed it in the latest chapter I've read. Spoiler alert. So, his stocks were down since then to give it to Ren. This guy was controlling a whole pitch by himself. The sole playmaker, by the way. No, there was no free man. He was by himself, controlling the whole thing. He has the same eyes as Ashi, so we're not missing out on much. So, you know, hey, his resume is looking good so far. Because he was picked for the national team as well. So his skill is up there. That's all I'm saying. And finally, we've got mentality. This is really how well will they deal with situations. And with all the abilities they have together, I need someone who can work hard to make it even greater than it already is. Because I don't need someone who will back down mentally as soon as he sees something impressive from the opponents. I need someone who will fight back. Lead your teammates. Lead Japan to the World Cup. So, my nominees for this are Otomo. This guy was great. Captain, great captain, and will be a great leader in the future. But today, he's not my pick. We got Ashito. He's great, you know. We know Ashito. We've seen him. We've seen him since the beginning. And my final pick is the shot goalkeeper from Red's team. I forgot his name, but that guy didn't even give up after being dropped. All that yapping he did, it was inspirational. It doesn't matter about height. It's all about mentality and skill. The way he came back from being dropped from the best team in Japan to being in some like third team and coming back and putting up a great effort, having clutch saves. Unfortunately, Ren couldn't do more. But drum roll, please. I will be picking. I know, surprise. Yes, it's the goalkeeper. I forgot his name. Nah, okay, I'm joking. It is Ashito. This guy loves the game. His ability to never give up. He's had multiple chances to give up on football, this sport. But he kept persevering, finding himself from a striker to a defender to a playmaker. He kept reinventing himself, learning new tricks, never staying idle. When La Masia was dominating with tiki-taka, he was shocked. But he's one of the few people who wanted to win so bad, to the point that he was the resurgence to their offense and their goal. There's no one who does it just like him. And he will be the mentality of this player that we've created. I needed to add Ashito into this character, and I'm happy I did. So, this is the ultimate Japanese player. To recap, the offense of Damien, defense of Akotsu, technique of Kurabayashi, playmaking of Ren, and the mentality of Ashito. Is this guy the GOAT? Is Damien by himself still better than this guy? Because this guy has got some copy abilities. You know, he's learning tricks. He learned from Kurabayashi real quick, just by versing them in a 1v1 for like 5 minutes. Is Fukada in his prime better than this player? I need some answers. But I'm going to let you guys decide on that. And also tell me, what position would best suit him? Let me know. And with that, I'm out. There's nothing else to say.